This one grocery scrap attracts more microbes than compost, the lazy gardener's secret. If you've been gardening for any length of time, you know the endless talk about compost. Every book, every gardening guru, and every neighbor with a shovel seems to say the same thing. Build your compost pile if you want healthy soil. But what if I told you there's one simple, everyday grocery scrap that can rival compost, and in some cases even attract more soil microbes? And the best part? You don't have to babysit a pile, flip it, or balance greens and browns like some chemistry experiment. Welcome back to SoilSage Chronicles. Today I'm sharing a little-known lazy gardener's trick that has completely changed how I feed my soil. The lazy gardener's gold molasses. The grocery scrap I'm talking about is none other than molasses. Yes, that thick, dark syrup most of us associate with baking or old-fashioned gingerbread. You'll find it in the baking aisle, not the garden center. And while it may not look like much, molasses is a microbial magnet. Why? Because microbes, just like us, need food. Compost provides a buffet of nutrients over time, but molasses is the instant sugar rush that wakes up the soil life and calls them to action. With just a few tablespoons diluted in water, you can literally pour an energy drink for your soil microbes. When I first tried this, I thought it was gardening folklore, but, within days of watering molasses into my beds, I noticed a shift. The soil felt looser, smelled richer, and plants perked up like they'd been given a pep talk. Now don't get me wrong, compost is still king for building long-term fertility. It adds bulk, organic matter, and a slow-release stream of nutrients. But if you're looking at what sparks microbial explosions, molasses has compost beat. Here's the difference. Compost is like a full-course meal. It takes time to digest and the benefits unfold slowly. Molasses is like dessert. Simple sugars that microbes can devour immediately. This fast-acting sugar supply means molasses feeds the first wave of microbial activity. Once those microbes multiply, they get to work breaking down the organic matter already in your soil, making nutrients more available to your plants. It's a chain reaction. Feed microbes, microbes feed plants. For us lazy gardeners, that's a game changer. Instead of spending hours turning compost, you can just grab a jar of molasses, mix it into water, and give your soil a microbial feast in minutes. How to use molasses in the garden? Let's get practical. Using molasses in the garden isn't complicated, but it really helps to get the details right so you don't end up with sticky soil or wasted effort. The simplest recipe I've found is this. Mix 1 to 2 tablespoons of unsulfured molasses into 1 gallon of water. Stir until dissolved, then pour directly around the base of your plants or over bare soil. That's it. You've just brewed microbial rocket fuel. For larger areas, you can scale up the recipe and apply with a watering can or hose end sprayer. Some gardeners even add molasses to compost teas, supercharging them with sugars that keep microbes active until they hit the soil. One tip, always use unsulfured molasses. Sulfur can act as an antimicrobial, which, honestly, defeats the whole purpose. Blackstrap molasses works especially well because it also contains trace minerals like iron, calcium, and magnesium, bonus nutrition for both plants and soil life. Alright, let's talk about when and where to apply molasses. Timing really does matter here. Molasses works best when soil temperatures are warm enough for microbes to be active. So, that's usually spring through early fall in most climates. If you add it to frozen winter soil, it honestly won't hurt anything, but you just won't see much effect until things warm up. Personally, I like to apply molasses after a rain or a deep watering. Moist soil gives those microbes the environment they need to thrive, and molasses just adds the fuel. Dry soil plus sugar water is just less effective, and in hot sun, it can even create a crust. Molasses also really shines in stressed areas, like compacted beds, tired containers, or spots where your plants just look kind of sluggish. Now, it won't replace compost or organic matter, but it will definitely jumpstart the microbial workforce that's already present. So, what kind of real results can you expect after you start using molasses? Well, based on my own experience and honestly countless conversations with other gardeners, here's what you'll probably notice. First, the soil smell improves. Healthy soil has that earthy, sweet aroma, and molasses seems to amplify it almost overnight. Next, worm activity increases. Earthworms are drawn to areas with high microbial activity, so more microbes means more worm food. Plant growth perks up too. Within a week or two, you might notice greener leaves, faster growth, and stronger stems. And if you're still composting, try sprinkling some diluted molasses over the pile. The microbes kick into overdrive, breaking material down quicker. Pretty cool, right? I call this the lazy gardener's compost, not because it replaces compost, but because it fits perfectly into a gardening style that values efficiency and results over endless labor. Lazy gardening doesn't mean neglect, it means finding simple, sustainable tricks that work with nature instead of against it. Molasses is one of those tricks. It proves that you don't always need fancy inputs, expensive fertilizers, or hours of backbreaking work. Sometimes the most effective soil booster is sitting quietly on a grocery shelf, waiting to be rediscovered. A word of balance. Before you rush out and pour a gallon of syrup into your garden, a quick caution. Too much molasses can throw things off, just like too much of any fertilizer. Overloading your soil with sugar can create imbalances or even encourage unwanted fungal growth. Stick to small, diluted amounts applied every couple of weeks during the growing season. That's all you need to keep the microbes happy. Closing thoughts, and a challenge for you. So there you have it, the lazy gardener's secret weapon, molasses. It's cheap, simple, and surprisingly effective at jump-starting soil life in ways even compost can't match. The next time you're at the grocery store, grab a bottle and give it a try. I'd love to hear your results. Does your soil smell richer? Do your plants perk up? Drop a comment on my latest video and share your story. I read every single one. And if you found this article helpful, make sure you subscribe to SoilSage Chronicles on YouTube and share this with a fellow gardener. Let's keep spreading these simple, powerful soil wisdoms. After all, the soil is alive, and the more we learn to feed it, the better it feeds us.